Hey everyone, Tricocha here. I am re-recording our second video. We had an issue last time with the screencasting of the MLA Works Cited page. So I'm going to try it on the iPad. Let's take a look here. This is what our Google Classroom folder looks like with all the subfolders for ELAC 145 if you're using Apple products such as an iPad, iPhone, or Mac. The other way we saw it, I usually use a PC. Okay, we're gonna talk about writing, so I'm gonna look at writing tools. Let me take a look here. I want to look for MLA Works Cited. We need to know what a Works Cited is. This is quite long. This was made by Professor David Walsh. This is excellent. A lot of people these days uses the internet to find what they need about MLA formatting and MLA Works Cited. They use websites like the OWL Purdue, even the Writing Center uses that. You can even go to the Modern Language Association website and get a lot of stuff for free. People use websites to make their bibliographies or Works Cited page. They use websites like EasyBib or perhaps Citation Generator. Those are good. They work. But when you use a computer, a website to make something, it's being made by a robot, by a computer. That means it could have errors. Sometimes it's good just to know the good old-fashioned way to do it by hand, even though we're using computers and technology these days. So this is pretty cool because it's kind of like a book on its own. If I was a student, I would save this little packet and I would use it this semester. Next semester, I would use it for the rest of my time in college, anytime I'm writing an essay in MLA format. It's telling us our general formatting guidelines. Why do we need a Works Cited page? What is a Works Cited page? I guess I should show you an example in case we don't remember here. Okay. Let's just take a look at my argumentative essay examples about energy drinks. The ones that were saying energy drinks, should they be banned to the sale of energy drinks be banned to people under age 18? Yes or no? This lady, Polly Pupil, wrote her essay, A Drinking Problem, and she thought, yeah, they should be banned. So she gave us her introduction paragraph. We looked at it last time. We see some quotes in there. She gave us her reasons with evidence. More reasons with evidence. This quote is from Amazon. Another reason. She has her counterclaim right there. Evidence. Boom, 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 boom. Her conclusion saying, hey, remember I talked about all this stuff. Now she has the Works Cited page. This is basically Polly Pupil telling us, hey, they say, Sharon Alfonsi, Amazon.com, João Breda, LA, blah, 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 blah. They say this stuff. This is where you can find their info. You can find a news story here, an Amazon here, a public health journal thing here. This is where I found all my info about energy drinks. This is what they say. And if you want to learn more about what they say, like maybe you want to go watch that ABC News video, you can go click right there. Maybe you actually want to go on Amazon.com to see if Polly Pupil was telling the truth that energy drinks cost $2. So you can go there, okay? The Works Cited page, it's going to be like a referral, I guess. It's telling us where the author got all the ideas, where they're taking the quotes from. It helps us to stay accountable as writers because then we can't make it up. We can't just make up stuff and tell people, agree with me because I said so. That's very unethical. That means it's not honest. We want to be honest, okay? I don't want to say, oh yeah, these are my ideas. I made the habit loop, guys. I'm so smart. When it was really Charles Duhigg's idea. That will just make you look not like a good person, like you're dishonest, like you're stealing somebody's ideas. We don't want to do that. We want to give credit to other people's ideas and show everybody, hey, this is where it's coming from. Remember I told you up here in my essay that energy drinks are $2 each? I didn't make that up. It's from Amazon. Okay. Basically, it's your evidence showing people this is what's going on. Okay. So that's how it looks. Works cited pages, they come in alphabetical order by the author. The weirdest thing about the works cited page that is hard for most students, and it was hard for me when I was trying it, was this hanging indentation. That means we're indenting, but it looks backwards. Okay, we're having the last name stand out, and then you want to indent. If you don't know how to move those settings around, you could simply go into Google how to make a hanging indentation in Google Docs or Word. There's plenty of resources out there to show us how to do that. But you need to make this hanging indentation so we can quickly and easily see the author's names. I want to quickly be able to find Alfonsi, Breda, Sifferlin. When we indent the way that we do for our essay, putting the first sentence of a paragraph in, that's a trick for the eye to show your brain where it could take a break and where these ideas are separated. Now for the works cited page, it's also a trick for the eye because it's a hanging indentation so we can easily find the last name. Okay, works cited is important so people know what you're talking about, what's going on. Okay, let me go back to Google. I'm in my writing tools folder. I'm going to go back to this. So here's your general formatting guidelines. Of course, you want it to follow your MLA format. After your MLA format essay, this is going to be the very last page. It still needs a page number on it. You're going to center. You're going to start a new list on the following the last page, conclusion of your essay. It should always be the last page of your final document, just like we saw. So that last page, we're going to center the title in the middle, works cited, just like we saw in the example. Everything the same, MLA format, Times New Roman, size 12. Okay, nothing bold. We're going to alphabetize the sources by author's last name. And just as we saw in that energy drinks example, if the source does not have a listed author, alphabetize by title, such as in the Amazon example. And we could ignore the initial words a and the, or these prepositions here. For each entry, we're going to align the first line with the left margin, the last name, and indent subsequent lines using hanging indentation, 5 spaces with the space bar on your keyboard, or 1/2 inch if you're using the rulers there. Note, punctuation and spacing guidelines must be followed precisely for proper MLA works cited information for each source. Makes you look professional, honest, and you're giving credit to these people's ideas. So this is the essential information you should include. The author, Charles Duhigg, the title of the source, The Power of Habit. Okay, the title of container. That's MLA's term for a larger network which is contained or found, such as anthology website. So maybe you were going to quote a YouTube video or Netflix, so you would put that there. You're going to put the editor, blah, 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 whatever's there, version, volume, publisher, date, location of source, such as if it's a website, put the website, a YouTube video, put the link there. And you're going to separate all these elements in this fashion: author, title, container with periods. Separate the details of each container with a comma. What in the world does that mean? Let's look at it. Here we go. This is a example of Shaw Gillian, author. Title of the article is Social Media Making Us Rude. What's the container? Meaning the source where they found that article called "Is Social Media Making Us Rude?" The container, the source of it, is the Vancouver Sun. It was published on October 2016 on pages 1 through 9 of the October Sun. Here's a link straight to that article. Sometimes if URLs are really long, they might not fit on one line of text. Therefore, you should break it to fit the space properly. You can see the way that I do it in Google. You can shorten the link if you need to. Okay, here's an example. Interstellar directed. He cut the portion after the Amazon so it would fit and look good there. In this class, we're mostly going to be quoting from books and articles. We're going to quote from a book, Charles Duhigg. Here we go. Boom. Charles Duhigg, name of the book, The Power of Habit, publisher, Random House, year 2014. Great. If you have more than one author, such as with They Say, I Say, you can do it like that. There are so many sources that we can quote. We're going to focus in this class and for this essay on a book and an article. Maybe you'll get an electronic source, okay? You'll get a third one on your own. But anything you would need is here, like an anthology, an ebook. We're definitely going to quote an article from a magazine, maybe something about stress or about habits, something from Time magazine. So we can see for the articles, it definitely has the container or the source. Pulano, Chelsea, Is Technology Making Us Dumb? That's the name of the article. It was in this container or magazine, Futurism, the date, and the link to it. Access was the date that this young lady went to the website. I love Mr. David Walsh as an English professor. He makes really good, clear examples. This is one that he made. If you're going to quote an entire website, a personal website, a Wikipedia is not that good. Facebook, they're not reasonable at all. Stay away from these. But unfortunately, people quote them. The reason why Wikipedia and Facebook are not good trusted sources is because anybody can put anything on there. I could go on Facebook and put, Miss Tricocha is going to be the next president starting tomorrow. That's a lie. We want to go to more reputable sources, and that's part of why we have a Works Cited page. What if somebody writes an essay where they say the world is flat? And they read it in a science book. And then I went to go click the link for the science book and it was fake. Then I would know. Okay. The Works Cited gives evidence to where you got this stuff from. These days, people are quoting from a lot of online things such as social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Twitter is a big one that people are posting from, especially because the president was using Twitter a lot. We had elections, so people were using social media. We could also quote from news, like in the energy drinks. We could use TED Talks. We could use movies. We could use YouTube videos. You can even interview somebody. One time in Professor David Walsh's class, they interviewed my niece, so they had a personal interview in there. You can use a lot of sources for evidence, but whatever the sources you use for evidence in an essay, you just have to tell your reader what they are and where they came from in a Works Cited page. Thank you.